Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite cartridges and the criteria that I used to pick it for elk hunting. With the criteria that I had for this hunting rifle, I wanted something that was available in rifles, ammo, and hand loading components. Now, was it necessarily going to be the cheapest thing to hand load? Probably not. But, I enjoy it. It's something fun, and you can get a little bit more precision out of your rifle. So I wanted something that had components available. The next thing here is affordability. I wanted a box of ammo that cost less than $65. Now, today that is probably doable in quite a few things. But when I bought this rifle a few years ago, it was pretty hard to find ammo, period. So to find ammo under $65 was also going to be a little bit of a challenge. The last thing was ballistics. Now, out west, we don't necessarily want to shoot 800 yards. We try to get closer. But if that was the only shot available, I wanted to at least have something that I could be confident had the ability to reach out and touch an elk that far. Now, whether or not you do it, that's up to you. But I wanted to have the option just in case. So with that criteria in mind, I came up with a few cartridges. The first one here is this little guy. It's a 6.5 Creedmoor. Now, it's debatable. Does it work for elk? I mean, yeah, probably. Has it been done? Oh, definitely. But is it the best? Probably not. Then we had the 308 Winchester. It's a good round. It's been in the elk woods for a while. But for those longer shots, it's not going to be the best purely because its velocity from the muzzle isn't going to be that fast because of this little case that it has. The next one is kind of where we started at the bottom end for what would work. It's the 270 Winchester. It's 100 years old. It's a good round. It has the velocity. It has the energy. It'll work at 800 yards. Is it going to be ideal? Probably not, but it'll work. The next is one of the classic cartridges, the 30-06. It's been in the elk woods for years. It'll work. It'll meet all the criteria. It's just an all-around good cartridge. The next one was one of my favorites. It is the 7mm Remington Magnum. Now, this round, it met the velocity. It had some components. It wasn't super available, but there were options. So we had that. And then we have the 300 Win Mag. Now this round, it's been in the elk woods for years. People love it. It is a long-range hammer. So the rifle that I decided to go with, it was a Browning X-Bolt. It has a 26-inch barrel, and something special about it is right there, we can see that it's a 1 8-inch twist. So it's an updated twist rate to the 7 mag so that it can stabilize those super high BC bullets. Another great thing that I like about this rig is this scope up here. It is a Swamp Fox Patriot, so it is a 6-24 by 50 scope. We have Swamp Fox rings. Yeah, they're a little tall, but it hasn't affected accuracy so far. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Something else that's nice is it has a 26-inch barrel with the muzzle brake that came with it. So overall, it's been an awesome rifle to have. Now, the standard 7mm Remington Magnum will shoot all of these bullets just fine. The twist rate matches up perfectly with each of these. We have 120 grain Nosler ballistic, 140 grain Nosler ballistic, 150 grain ELDX, and the 195 grain EOL. Now, that's one of the heaviest bullets I found in 7mm, but it only requires a 1 9-inch twist. So your standard 7 Rem mag will work for all of these. But what was special about the Rem mag that I got, that Browning, is that it has a 1 8-inch twist. That means that the 180 grain ELDM, it's a great little match bullet. It will stabilize in that rifle. And then the 160 grain LRX is an awesome hunting bullet. If you want penetration, this is it. So I went with the 7mm Remington Magnum in that Browning X-Bolt, not only because it shoots these bullets very well, but should I choose to go to something heavier like that LRX or the ELDM, I have the twist rate that will accommodate those bullets. So, like I said earlier, I grew up hunting with the 7mm Remington Magnum. The bullet that we liked is the 120 grain Nosler ballistic tip. You can see that bottom red line is going to be that bullet. The green line is 140 grain ballistic, blue is 180 ELDM, and that top purple line is the 195 EOL. What we can see is that the 120 grain bullet only has enough energy, so about that 1500 foot-pounds of energy. It has that out to about 500 yards. So realistically, within the hunting ranges that most people will be hunting at, it is going to be more than capable of taking big game like elk, deer, bear, bighorn sheep, things like that, out to 500 yards. Now, if we want to get technical with it, we'll have to look at the velocities, but all of these have at least ample energy out to 500 yards, if not further, for hunting. Now, taking a look at the other side of the coin, velocity. What we would like to see is around 2,000 feet per second for ample expansion. Now, will some of these bullets expand at lower velocities? On the box it says they will, but we'll set the benchmark at 2,000 feet per second so that it's equal across the board. What we see with that 2,000 feet per second mark is that the 120 and 140 grain bullets, due to their lower BCs, are going to slow down the fastest. When we cross that 2,000 feet per second line, we're at roughly 700 and 850 yards respectively. So they have ample velocity at their ranges where they have enough energy. But taking a look at the 180 ELDM and 195 EOL, we are well beyond standard hunting distances. We're clear out to almost 1,000 yards before that 180 crosses the line for 2,000 feet per second, and that 195 is still well above 2,000 feet per second. So realistically, each of these bullets will expand within reason out at the distances that we would normally hunt. Go ahead and leave a comment for what your favorite hunting cartridge is out west.